Now, it's hard to decipher what people's motivations are a lot of times when they're on camera because the camera makes people feel weird. This is not one of those situations. You have someone behind the camera zooming in and out on her during a team prayer. What is she doing there? Also, who do you think's doing that Zoom? How much you want to bet that's the ex-husband who's behind the camera filming her, who has put herself in between the video camera and Ian, Garry, and his team, who are in the middle of praying for success in his fight where his life's on the line. She positions herself in between the camera and Ian and then films it. All right, so we're getting to the weekend. And so the weekend is generally when I start talking trash about people, and I don't mean to, but that's just what happens. So we're going to start with a video of Layla Anna Lee demonstrating that she absolutely is using Ian Garry. Regardless of what I've said previously, she's using him. And this video proves it. And then we're going to talk about Volkanovski. I'm not going to talk bad about Volkanovski, but I want to talk about Volkanovski's team, because I see a lot of really weird stuff going on down there all at the same time. Okay, so you got Dan Hooker, Izzy, and Volkanovski, all on the same team, very successful fighters that have all kind of, had some challenges lately and also some really weird stories. The one I want to talk about today, though, is Volkanovski's coach saying basically that Ilia Topuria got lucky in this fight, which is so ludicrous. I'm going to show you what he said, and then I'm going to go through the knockout, go through the fight in general, and it's like, that's just not accurate, man. Not only is it not accurate, it's detrimental to everyone involved. There's no one who benefits from a lie like that. All right, so here's the other one that we got to cover. Full disclosure, I can't do this channel from a position of feeling guilty, and that's what I did for a second with the Ian Garry thing. I felt guilty because of the WAG book thing when I figured out it really was a joke, and I was like, oh my God. But I can't, okay? Like, I can't just be nice because I feel guilty about another thing when this clearly needs to be talked about, like at least on my channel. It's like, dude, I can't let a post like this slide without me commenting on it because this is so crazy and so telling. I don't even know, how do I even put this, dude? If you could capture everything wrong with this situation in a single post, this is it right here, okay? Now, I would imagine that Ian Garry would see this and he would just be like, no, dude, you don't understand. I'd be like, no, dude, I do understand, actually. I 100% understand. My question to you, sir, I will actually let go. Here, okay, let me just get into this, all right? So this is the post that we're talking about really quick, all right? So this is them praying. Sorry, that was me puking at the music. That is unbelievable. That is the most melodramatic nonsense I've ever seen. Okay, so what's wrong with this here? Okay, so here's everything wrong with it. I'm going to itemize all of the things that are wrong with this weird post. Okay, number one, what is she doing in the locker room? Okay, fine. Now, each person can do whatever they want. I'm sure Ian Garry would be like, I want her with me in the locker room. It's my fight, my team. I want her there. Fine. But here's one that I just am going to have to pose and really ask a firm question on, okay? This is a pre-fight prayer, right? Like, this is the team praying together. Very, very important moment, a really kind of spiritual collective team moment where all of them are focused in one direction, and that is on let's pray for a good outcome. Let's, let God, empower Ian Garry to perform up to what he is capable of, right? Like, that's what this is. And it's serious. Like, this is a serious moment, dude, right? So everyone should have their energy focused in the direction of we are throwing great energy and asking God for help for Ian's performance, right? Okay, well, so you want to know what you can't do at the exact same time as you are supposedly doing that? Is set up a camera, position yourself in between the camera and the fighter who is your husband. It's supposedly about that. Okay, so in this moment that is supposed to be all about the team, it's supposed to be about supporting Ian, whatever, I'm sure that he feels supported. But what I'm saying is I have an external view of this, all right? Now, she's the mother of his kids. I don't even feel like this is why I struggle doing this because it's the mother of his kids. Who cares? She's not going anywhere. They're going to be married. They have a kid together. It's not going to go anywhere. But I'm saying I can't do what I do without calling this out and just saying this is exactly what if anybody needs an indication that there's something wrong here, this is it, dude. This is exactly it. In the moment where Ian Garry is prepping and his whole team is praying, she puts up a camera right here, or has, I assume it's on a stand, and she hits record and she records herself behind him. Look where everybody else is, dude. She's behind him with the camera in between her. Well, she's in between the camera and Ian. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Is she focused on Ian? Is she focused on the outcome, or is she focused on getting a video of herself in between the camera and the fighter? Like, this is how people know this is about publicity. This is about her finally getting her moment in the sun. Okay, now I gave her the benefit of the doubt a lot earlier because I'm like, all right, well, so she was a content creator. You know, she made jokes about WAG, but there's another way of looking at this, right? There absolutely is another way of looking at this, which is this is an aspiring celebrity, right? This is a person who has aspired to be a celebrity for her entire adult life, right? And I think I made clear I'm good with giving them benefit of the doubt. This post, I can't do it. I can't do it, dude. There's no benefit of the doubt to give here. This is cut and dry, dude. This is absolutely cut and dry. This is Ian Garry's moment. They are praying, and instead of praying, she put herself in between the camera and Ian to make sure that she got her moment in the sun prior to the fight. It's weird, dude. It's not weird. It's just, there's your fucking answer. Like, you want an answer on Layla Anna Lee? There it is, dude. Now, whether she loves Ian or not, I'm sure she does. But whether she loves him or not, she's using him. That's just absolutely unquestionable at this point. Okay? Because of this post, you can no longer question it. She for sure is using him. Can you love someone and use them at the same time? I guess so. But that is a fact. She is using him to get publicity for sure. And this post makes it absolutely undeniable. There's no one who could convince, there's no one who understands what they're looking at who could possibly argue against it. She's using him for publicity for sure. And this is the proof. And now let's move over to the delusional take that Volkanovski's loss was a result of luck and how there is no benefit to believing that. You believing that that's the case. It's like, it's not the case, dude. You are going to have to fight him again. And if that's seriously what you believe, that is the worst possible outlook that you could have because it's 100% inaccurate. You are looking at even Steven talent. If you go in there, oh, he got lucky, he's going to get starched again for sure. For absolute sure. Okay? But yeah, I'm going to go through one by one. So let's do that. I wanted to start, I'll start with that story and then I'll show you this Dan Hooker thing that's weird. Then we'll just talk about Izzy and we'll go from there. Now, real quick, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. That's all I ask. If you watch my content, I give it to you for free. All I ask is that you just click subscribe. It takes 1 second. I know you guys, I don't subscribe to channels. Well, just do it for me, dude. I would do it for you. If you were like, look, man, I really need your help. I'd be like, what can I do for you? They're all, I need you to bail me out of prison in China. I'm like, I got you, dude. You hit subscribe, I will bail you out of jail in China. So that's what kind of love we have. Also, like this video and let's rock and roll. All right, so this is the story that we're talking about here, okay? So morning report, coach says Ilia Topuria had puncher's chance versus Alexander Volkanovski, and he got that punch. What? That is not accurate. Also, I'll credit where credit's due. Where I found this was actually on the Weasel's channel. And actually, I'll just play the very beginning of this for you because this is exactly right, dude.
Puncher's chance before the fight, and the coach still believes that he won because of a puncher's chance after the fight.
Nonsense.
I'm not going to lie. This isn't too surprising. Alexander Volkanovski's head coach, his #1 coach, Joe Lopez.
Did he say this is not surprising? Because this is wildly surprising.
Had an interview to update on Volkanovski's condition and what happened in the fight. So the head coach is supposed to be the brains behind the fighter in a sense, right? He's supposed to understand the technique and the skills and the game plan more than anybody else. So he should understand what happened in that fight, right? Well, he said Topuria got lucky. He said that there was a puncher's chance that Topuria had, and he won because of the puncher's chance.
Ludicrous. Okay, so just right here. Like, here you go. We are literally looking at the moment where that right hand that Ilia has cocked and coming over the top, right? That is going to be the dirt nap shot right there, right? That's a curtain call that you're looking at right there. And if you think about it, I mean, just one of the things that I had said all the time going in there was that is where Ilia is vulnerable, is in those exchanges right there. I would imagine that they had probably game planned that. And it's, but Volkanovski was out of position to throw a good counter there. And so he ends up kind of just holding onto the back of his neck and then boom, he's going lights out. But that is not luck, dude. Like, that is absolutely not luck. Ilia Topuria cut off the cage, backed him into the cage so that he couldn't control distance anymore, and then he unloaded a flurry of shots that are probably the most dangerous part of his game, like right there. Now, it's interesting that his vulnerability coincides with the place where he's most dangerous, which makes him absolutely incredibly formidable. In addition to the fact that he's never lost, hasn't really looked very human against anyone, looks pretty dominant. And this is a guy who's never been knocked out except for a head kick. Well, at least not in, I guess he got knocked out 22 fights ago before Islam. But in a fight where he had a full training camp, the guy had not been knocked out in 22. And as far as I know, he had never been fully straight up starched like that. And Ilia did it with one shot. And it was the first shot. That's the other thing, dude. That's the other thing to keep in mind. We'll come back to the this delusional take that it was lucky. But like, a guy gets knocked out, a lot of times they get clipped and then they're stumbling back, and there's a reason why they are not able to defend themselves well, which is they're hurt, right? Like, a guy gets clipped and they get hurt, and so they're not responding quickly, they're not moving correctly, and so they're open to get hit with a clean shot. He got caught absolutely nuclear lights out while he was completely with it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard anybody talk about that. Usually these, or not usually, a lot of times, when people get put unconscious, it's because they can't defend themselves because they're already hurt. Volk was not hurt in any way, and he got starched by a shot in that state. That's nuts, man. So, honestly, more than anything, I'm just saying, like, I'm rooting for Volkanovski to come back and do well and all that. I love Volkanovski. But to tell him that this result was because of luck is not a good idea. I talked about this throughout my entire, my whole take after the fight was how mindset is everything. And if Volkanovski keeps telling himself he's 35 now, he doesn't know if he still has it. Oh, I'll play into the old man thing. The worst sports psychology ever. That's terrible. You want to know what is equivalently terrible? Is to believe that he got lucky. Now, I don't think that Volkanovski believes that. I'm not saying that Volkanovski believes that at all. But the coach is obviously, and who knows if the coach is even like really believes that. Maybe it's just something that he's saying in an interview, but like, it's just not true. So here we go. He says, this is exactly what he says here. Alex was going through the game plan, was finding his range and started to touch him up. I was disappointed by the result, knowing that Alex has a much better skill set. We knew coming into the fight that he had puncher's chance and he got that punch. Okay, but no. We knew he would be fast. Oh, that's Volkanovski. Okay, so that's just no, right? And yes, he was moving well and he was touching him up. But did Topuria look like he got rattled by any of that? Did it look like his game plan was affected? No. He looked like I said in my other video, a velociraptor. He looked like he was just moving forward and was waiting for the right opportunity to unleash a knockout shot, which is exactly what he did. It's not like he was sitting back and then just threw some wild punch. He set that up. He backed him up against the fence and then caught him. It's just not accurate. It's not luck. It's a terrible, terrible way to look at it. Now, the reason why I brought up the whole team is because of this clip, dude. This is weird to me, man. Like, I'm sorry. This is weird. This is Dan Hooker's reaction after his boy gets starched. Like, have you guys seen this?
Topuria at UFC 298.
Oh, no! No.
Okay, I love Izzy, but Izzy would have a fucking painting of his own face on his wall.
Man. Man.
That's a weird time to smile, man. I'm telling, that is a, he's a fighter. He knows. Now, Dan Hooker's obviously kind of crazy, but he knows. Volkanovski's soul just got crushed, dude. Like, literally, the only thing in the world Volkanovski wants at that point is to win that fight, and he got, not only lost, he got starched. First time in his life, unconscious. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big deal. A devastating moment for his friend. I want to show you, you see Izzy. Izzy's good people, dude. Izzy is such a good dude. That is how you know. You know what I mean? That's how you know. And I take shit all the time on this channel because I talk well about Ali Abdelaziz. Look at this, okay? This is the day. This is when Kamaru Usman was fighting against Leon the first time. Not the first. It's their second fight. The first of the last two where at the very end he got starched. Me and Gabrielle were there. But like, watch Ali's just chilling, and then watch him when Kamaru gets knocked out, his boy.
Bro, he took an illegal shot.
We were there. See? He's not his boy. What a moment for Leon, though. God, man. Just unbelievable. Just think about the difference in that guy's life if he doesn't land that shot. And Kamaru's, too. I mean, like, Kamaru's probably still champion. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not saying that everybody has the same kind of reaction to everything, but, like, to me, there is a correct reaction to your boy just had everything taken from them in front of the entire world. And, like, I think Ali's looks a lot more in line with what I would expect if that happened to my boy. You know what I mean? Like, where, I don't know, sitting in the back and, like, smiling is weird to me. Like, that is super weird. And Volkanovski and wait a minute, what? Come again? Oh, shit. I know what that is. Volkanovski and Dan Hooker are boys. They like do a podcast together. Why is he smiling like that? It's so weird to me, man. That is so weird. Now, on the Izzy side, you know, you had Izzy obviously go through his thing and you know, he's got this thing which, well, he might be coming back to fight against Sean Strickland, but at the time when he lost to Strickland, he's like, I'm going through some shit. You know, I need some time off. And I don't know, it just seems like there's shit going down in that camp. You know what I mean? It's so weird to me how these things come in cycles like that in these teams. It's so weird. You know, I don't think it's dissimilar from like when a baseball team goes on a hitting streak, you know, where like all of a sudden, or softball, anything, you know, softball, baseball, whatever. It's like one guy hits, everybody hits. This guy got a hit. This guy got a hit. This guy got a hit. It's like everyone just sees and they're like, oh, we're all hitting now. And then they all start hitting. Then these camps go through these moments where like all of them are champions. So weird. Or at the very least, like you have like 2 to 3 champions in one camp. And then once one of them loses, they all lose, dude. It is so weird. You know what I mean? Like if you go back through the history of mixed martial arts, I could show you so many examples of that, you know? It's like you had the Militich camp back in the day. You had like you had all those guys at Militich. Have they had a champ since? I don't think so. You had, you know, American Top Team where they had tons of champs, dude. You had the Jackson Wink camp where they had tons of champs. And then once they're gone, you know, I mean, I guess John Jones is still, but he's not even with Jackson Wink anymore. And then you had these guys down there and they were all champs and then now they're not. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird, and it's very, very rare to see a camp reclaim dominance like that. Oh, yeah, and then you had Kamaru Usman, Gaethje, and Rose all at Trevor Whitman's. Now none of them have titles. Very bizarre, dude. It is very bizarre like that. Now, maybe Gaethje can make a run here with the, win this BMF and then get another title shot, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I just think that's weird. I don't know what's going on down there, but I'll tell you right now that telling Volkanovski that was luck is not a good approach at all.